Okay, let's walk and talk. This has been a day. So I'm just outside my hotel right there. The reason I said that will become apparent shortly. So I'm the alternate here for the US team here in Paris, and as the alternate, you're allowed to be subbed in within 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes before each event. If one of the team members, or if the team decides, for whatever reason, I don't understand the rules, I don't need to, that's not my job. So as the alternate, we did the warm-up yesterday with everyone. I prepared, we did everything as if we were showing today. When I got up this morning, we made our plan. I packed, I put on blue breeches, just a flat, and then I packed white breeches, white shirt, pink coat, tie, everything as if I was showing. Because I didn't know if I would get the call. And my job as an alternate is to be ready no matter what. And I was on Caracol. I was flat. I got on her at about 8 o'clock. And at about 8:30, 8:40, Robert, our chef de keep, team coach, came up to me and he said, "You're on the team for today, and the class starts at 11:15. So almost at the very last minute, down to the wire, chef's keep wanted me to show, and I showed in Ken's place. My job is not to know why. It's just my job is to show. And so that was wild to wake up as in that way, be flatting, and then all of a sudden you prepare for showing, but preparing for showing, almost mock preparing for showing, is different than like fully showing. But that's the way it is. So we get ready, we walk the course. For the first round of the team event at the Olympics, the team event is over 2 days. So we did the first round today. We went from 20 teams that started today to 10 teams that jump tomorrow. It's over 2 days. And I went 33rd. I was our second in the order. And I can't show you the video. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to. Maybe eventually I'll show it, be able to, but I can't for now. But we jumped clear. And, it's, being able to ride for the US team is, something you work for your whole life, and it's really something special. And then, to be able to jump clear, especially when there's a lot of doubt whether I could, and doubt because I didn't in the past, and I had some bad showings, and it was such a great moment. So the reason I wanted to show you where the hotel was is I've been walking, so let me turn around. That is Versailles, and it's just stunning being able to walk out and just see it. So I'm going to put Versailles in the background. So yeah, so the round was, let me just go over the round because I can't show you the video right now. So fence 1 was in the far right corner, away from the back gate, coming towards the back gate. And then the goal is to get a nice canter to that. Nice start and a good rhythm. And then you turned around the water jump, and it was quite easy the way it was set to have too much angle on fence 2, the oxer. So that was something I made sure to focus on, was not to get too tight fence 2, because that would, put me underneath the oxer and then make the rest, the line after more difficult. After fence 2 was a nice 5 to a careful, wasn't a plank and it wasn't a rail, it was more like a square pull, 160, it was very big. Nice flowing left turn to the triple bar, fence 4, bending 6 stride to 5/8B, and you had to decide on how to do that bend depending on your horse and your plan. And then it walked about 2.5-ish after 5/8B to 6, but because 5B was an oxer, you landed a bit shallow, and that made the 3 borderline normal. It was a little bit sitting up, but borderline normal. And then it was a tight rollback shoved into the corner from 6 to 7 oxer out of the tight rollback, and then it was 3.5 to a skinny. But again, because of the tight turn to it and the oxer, the steady 4 was not as steady. Still steady, not as steady. And then flowing, keep going, 7 strides. It walked about a 7.5 to the water, but it's a water jump, so just keep going to the water. And then it walked about a 5.5-ish after the water, and even in your normal post water jump ride, because you walk after the water jump a bit differently, because you're landing from a water jump, so you have bigger steps, because that's how you're going to land. So it walked 5.5 in that bigger step, but it's still, you just jumped the water and you kept going to that oxer, and then you had a bit of time to get your canter back before very beautiful wall out of it. It was a long way and then a tight rollback. Beautiful wall, 160 out of the turn, and then it was a nice kind of continuing 6. Some people that 6 was long. The short strided ones are the ones that landed shallow off of the wall. Some people with the big strides was a bit tight. And then after the oxer fence 12, it was out and 7 to 13A of 13 ABC. Some people did 6. Obviously United Touch did 6 because it's United Touch. We did 7 and out and 7. I think I ended up a bit flatter than I was hoping on takeoff to 13A, which made the steady 2 after. 13B was, super tall, this pink plank that was really hard to set your eye on and for the horse to set their eye on, so it was very delicate. I think 13B was the most faulted fence, or the second most faulted fence of the whole round. But Karl was amazing. And then 13C 1 stride to a vertical, fine. I allowed a bit of a right drift over 13C because inside track made the 6 to the last line. It walked about a 6.5, 6 3/4 to the last fence, but with a little bit of a right drift to an inside track to the last fence. That 6 ended up, strong marching to the last fence. I was super happy. Karl felt unbelievable, and cantering in that ring. If you haven't watched some of the replays of horses in that ring, sure, I'd love for you to watch me. But at the same time, any horse cantering in that ring, it's just unbelievable. And the feeling cantering there, it sounds weird, but it's like, imagine there's like this gorgeous grass field with perfect grass and no one on it. And then all of a sudden you're allowed to just gallop your horse on it. That joy that you feel, that's what it was like. You can't believe that you're there at the Olympics, yes, but at a venue like that with Versailles in the background, it was just, an amazing experience. I'm obviously so proud of the whole team at Pomponio, all the US team. We had a great day. Obviously, at the same time, I had to be subbed in, and, that means that our day wasn't perfect, but, overall, I think we had a great day. I think we qualified second for tomorrow, which means we go second to last in the order, which means we were the second best team today. So we had a good day. And I'm just, so proud to represent the US. I'm so proud that, Karl, a very proud French woman, gets to come to Paris or Versailles and show. And, it felt, today, since I started riding her, every round, even if it was clear, or even if I won a class, it always felt like we were a bit on, there were things that weren't polished, things that weren't clear. We made it because we improvised well. Where today it felt a lot more like we walked the course, we made our plan, then we were able to make a plan knowing with our feeling of how it would ride, then I actually rode that way. And then I also could actually execute that ride. So, it's all those pieces coming together. And that, that's part of the hard work that you have to do. When you make mistakes, or you have rails, or you miss a distance, that sort of thing, you have to learn about why. You have to go back home. You got to learn from it, figure out what you need to get better at. Then you need to get better at it so that next time you go out, you can solve that problem. When you walk a line that's similar to the one you messed up last time, you know how to do it right this time. And it's just felt like that constant progression with her. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I'm so grateful to be able to represent the US here at the Olympics, and just so grateful for Karl.